Why do so many people want to live a 15-minute walk to the plaza when houses in downtown will likely cost you 25% more than a house just a few blocks away? Does it really make a difference if your walk to the plaza is 20 minutes or 25 minutes versus the 15 minutes? In this video, I'll explain why I live 10-minute walk to the plaza, and I'll also talk about the different neighborhoods within downtown and also explain how you can save hundreds of thousands of dollars by looking at some alternative options to downtown that you'll give all the benefits of downtown living without the cost. How much more does a downtown home cost? You're going to pay 25% more for a place right in downtown, but you don't have to buy a house on, the three most expensive streets. You can get good value if you're prepared to look outside the obvious areas. Certainly when I was buying somewhere, I bought a house for $850,000, which was a so-called contractor special. It's in a great location, but at the time, it wasn't on one of the more sought after streets. I'll explain how much you can expect to pay and how you can find a home that will give you all of the benefits of the downtown lifestyle without breaking the bank. It's important to understand what are the compromises that you are prepared to make. The first thing I did was to be really clear about the compromises I was prepared to make to live in downtown. Would I pay more to be on one of the premium streets? The answer is no. Did I want a picture postcard home? Yeah, if possible. Did it have to be a single level? No. Was I happy to buy a fixer? Definitely. For under $2 million, you can't have everything, but there is an awful lot that you can get. So if you don't know me, my name is David Hargreaves, founder of Modern Living Sonoma. In just 3 years, I've become a top 5 agent in Healdsburg, helping over 50 people from the Bay Area just like you. But you don't care about me, so let's talk about Healdsburg and how I found a home in downtown Healdsburg without paying a fortune. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to get more videos like this. So what are the benefits of downtown living? There are obvious benefits to living a 15-minute walk to the plaza, such as access to all the amenities without ever getting in your car. Because so many people in downtown either walk their dogs or walk to downtown every day, there's also a great sense of community living right in downtown that you just don't get if you live a little bit further out. For example, I just love being able to walk to bars and restaurants. If you're interested in what it's like to live in Healdsburg, check out my video about living in Healdsburg. The houses in downtown also have a certain charm. A lot of them are Victoria homes that have got front porches, very much designed for living. I guarantee if I walk into town at say 6 p.m, I'll see half a dozen people sitting on their porches enjoying a glass of wine. It creates a very distinct atmosphere to the downtown area. The closer into downtown, then the more pronounced that lifestyle is. But how do we actually define downtown? There's no strict definition, but I would say anywhere within a 15-minute walk to the plaza is considered downtown. If I was looking at a map, I would describe downtown as the area south of Powell, west of University Street with a slight sort of bump out for 1st and 2nd Street, and then east of Healdsburg Avenue. Within that area is the historic district, which is the heart of downtown. But there are also a number of sub-neighborhoods which you can get to the plaza within a 15-minute walk. Very loosely speaking, the most expensive area is the south side of town, where you get the big historic homes. They're on big lots, they're big houses. But I'll go into the different streets and where those are in a moment. How much can you expect to pay for a house in downtown? it used to be possible to buy a fixer for less than $1 million, but they're now few and far between. So you can expect to pay from, $1 million upwards to, $4.5 million, depending on the specific location and depending on the size of house and, importantly, the size of the yard. In the first half of this year, for example, just 27 homes sold in downtown Healdsburg with a value of 38 million, which is why it can be really hard to find a home that checks all the boxes. And I certainly have a lot of clients who spend a lot of time looking for the right home. The median price of these downtown homes was 1.3 million. If you are looking for a house with a pool, then just 6 sold in the first half of this year. So if that is a must-have criteria, you might want to think about buying a house that has a yard where you can add a pool at a later date. So what are the different sub-neighbourhoods in downtown? Firstly, there are the premium or golden streets, as I call them. On the south end of downtown are what are considered the best streets in town, Tucker Street and Hayden Street. So what characterises these streets is the fact that they're very wide. They almost feel like avenues with sort of mature trees, on both sides, with plenty of room for cars parked on both sides and still enough room for 2 cars to pass side by side. Many of the homes on these streets, date back to the early 1900s and are large homes. Many of them are actually 2-storey and on, definitely on larger lots. If you're looking for a home on a 12,000 square foot lot or bigger, this is definitely the most likely place that you will find one. Another prestigious street is Matheson Street, which is one over from Tucker. Matheson Street is another street with large houses on large lots, all dating from a similar period. The thing about Matheson is that it turns into South Fitch Mountain Road, which is the only road into the Fitch Mountain area from the south side of town, so it can be quite busy. The good thing though is that it's a wide street and many of the houses are actually set back, but the road noise is definitely something that puts a lot of people off Matheson, to be fair, including my wife. As we move north, we find a neighbourhood that is bounded by Piper Street to the south and then Grant Street to the north, with numerous cross streets including Johnson, Prince, Lincoln and Brown Street. For some people, Johnson is their favourite street in town. I mean, I wouldn't argue with them, I really like it. I feel it has a little more charm than the prestigious Tucker Street. Similarly, the adjacent streets of Prince, Lincoln, Brown are all, quieter neighbourhood streets. The houses and lots are typically smaller than those on, Tucker and Hayden and Matheson, but they're still full of a ton of charm. This is where I live, so maybe I'm a little biased. Another area I would describe as sort of semi-residential commercial district. There are a couple of roads, one block back from the plaza, East Street and Centre Street, which are so close to downtown that some of the properties on these streets actually have a sort of combination residential and commercial uses. If you're looking to live right in the heart of the hustle and bustle of downtown, this area may be of interest to you. There are even a couple of houses and a few houses in this area which it's possible to get a vacation rental permit for, which has largely been banned within the city limits. And then as we go further north still, so north of Grant Street, on the north end of downtown, there's another network of roads north of Grant but south of Powell that has a mixture of small craftsman homes and also larger homes on larger lots. This is a great part of downtown because some of the homes actually have a little bit of elevation, so you can get views out to the Dry Creek Valley to the west, which is really nice. As I look to move within downtown, this area is definitely an area I'd be excited about moving to because I know I could find a house on a large lot, certainly at a more affordable price than on some of the premium streets. But can you live in downtown without downtown pricing? The answer is sort of. I'm a Brit, so I wouldn't think anything of walking 20, 25 or even 30 minutes to the plaza. It doesn't have to be that 15 minutes. If you expand your walking horizon a little bit, you can find some great options where you're, a mile from the plaza, so yeah, it may take you 20, 25 minutes to walk there. One option to consider is what I would call the lanes. There is a network of roads on the northeast side of town, which includes Florence Lane, Josephine Lane, Bianca Lane, and there are others. This is a great neighbourhood where you could get a nice 3-bed, 2-bath house for 1.2 million. And if you're happy to do a bit of work, you can get one for less. I really do think this is a great option for someone who doesn't mind that extra walk to the plaza. So are you over 55? If you are, there's a great 55 plus community called Rivers Bend, just a mile from the plaza down by the river. The homes are on the smaller side, from 1,000 square feet to 1,500 square feet, but the roads are really wide and there are numerous green spaces within the community, so a really good sense of nature. I'm not 55 yet, but I often tell people there is some of the best value real estate in Healdsburg in this area. The highest price for a home in that area is going to be $875,000. I'm not 55 yet, but I often tell people this is some of the best value real estate in Healdsburg. Another option is what I'd call the Greens. The Greens neighbourhood are the houses around Greens Drive on the southeast side of town. Geographically, this is really close to downtown. If the homes were older, this would definitely be classified as downtown, but they were built in the in the 80s, so they're just that little bit newer. And many of the homes are single level and are typically 2,000 square feet, so definitely a little bigger than the standard 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,600 square feet craftsmen in a lot of the areas of downtown. And you can get quite a lot for your money here, as these homes will typically cost between 1.5 and 2 million, depending on the condition. But it's a great option for anyone who's looking for a bigger home close to the downtown area, but for less than $2 million. If you really do want to live in the historic downtown area of Healdsburg, less than a 15-minute walk to the plaza, it's definitely going to cost you $1.5 million or more. However, if budget is an issue, and let's face it, it is for everyone, I would suggest steering clear of what I would call the golden streets, such as Hayden, Tucker, Matheson and Plaza. If you're prepared to go beyond these streets, you can definitely get something for around $1.5 million. If your price point is lower than this, it's possible to purchase a great house within an easy walk to the plaza. It just won't be, it won't be that 15 minutes, and it might need a little bit of updating. So there are a number of different neighbourhoods that have homes to fit, everyone's individual needs. It might just be, that extra 5 minutes on your walk, but then that 5-minute walk will keep you healthier, and it's going to save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if you are looking to buy a second home or move here permanently from the Bay Area, do get in touch. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.